so high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.
myself wondering, what did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to Silver Creek Elementary School. And today is October 22nd, and there's our regular scheduled board meeting. At this time, we'll call the meeting to order at 6:32. And if we would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight. We want to thank you for the many blessings that you've given us as a corporation, as a community, and for our students. We ask that you continue to watch over the safety of our students and our staff members. We also ask you that you put your guiding hands on our friends up in Corden and the Gerlach family as they try to fill a void and forge a path forward in the loss of Bryce. We ask you to continue to help us make the best decisions that are in the best interest of our education and our students as a whole. It's in your name we pray. Amen. Ms. McDaniel, the mission statement.
The mission statement of Silver Creek School Corporation: we will operate with integrity, providing a safe, welcoming, and inclusive culture for our Dragon family. Through our dedication to academic excellence, we empower everyone to achieve their highest potential. As stewards for our stakeholders and community, we are committed to acting with transparency and accountability.
Roll call, Mr. Basham.
Here.
Ms. McDaniel.
Here.
Ms. Franklin.
Present.
Mr. Groen.
I'm present.
I'm also present. We have quorum. Dr. Briggs, emergency additions and revisions to the agenda.
Yes, good evening. I have one recommended revision to the agenda. It would be under number 7, consent agenda. Number 2, classified. Under number 1, appointments. The recommendation is to add letter E, Kylie Llewellyn, intensive intervention assistant at Silver Creek Elementary School, position control number 31019, effective date October 23rd, 2024.
All right,
That
you've
is
heard Dr. Briggs's emergency additions and revisions to the agenda. Do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
I so move.
Mr. Groen makes the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin seconds. Any discussions or comment? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up, we have the approval of the minutes. The minutes from the 9/24 regular board meeting, the 10/2 work session, and the 10/2 executive session were in your board packet. Do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
I so move.
Mr. Groen makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Dr. Briggs, do we have any recognition or presentations at this time?
We do not.
All right. Susan, do we have any community input?
Yes, sir.
All right. Man, we're rolling on along tonight. Dr. Briggs, do you have a financial and operations update from Dr. Ballmer?
Yes, I do. In place of Dr. Balmer this evening, the board has in front of them the monthly financial report for September 2024. Start with the education fund. The beginning year balance was $5,133,791.11. Year-to-date revenue, $18,373,579.43. Year-to-date expenditures, $17,741,532.84. With a current ending balance as of 9/30/24 of $5,765,837.70. That is a 70.9% spent of our appropriations, and the maximum spent at this time would be 75%, so we are under that. Moving on to the operation fund, beginning of the year balance was $3,538,444.73. The year-to-date revenue, $5,214,801.05. Year-to-date expenditures, $5,906,194.18. Current ending balance as of 9/30/24, $2,847,051.60. We are currently at 70% spent of our appropriations, and that is below the max percent spent of 75%. The only other thing I have is, as far as operations go, happy to report that Silver Creek High School expansion project opened up this past week with our students, last week with our students when they came back from fall break. So it was a successful opening, and we're looking forward to our ribbon cutting on November 1st, coming up here soon. Again, thanks to our staff at the high school for making that transition. I know it was uncomfortable in packing and moving, but I think everyone is getting settled now, so we're off to a good start. That's it.
Any questions on the financial data? All right, you want to go straight into consent agenda?
Okay. Under number 7, consent agenda, under letter A, finances, we have numbers 1 through 4, and under letter 4, we have number 1. Under letter B, personnel, 1 certified, 1 appointments, we have letters A through C. Number 2, resignations, we have letter A. Number 3, leaves, we have letters A and B. Under number 2, classified appointments, we have letters A through E. Under number 2, resignations, we have letters A through D. Under number 3, leaves, we have letter A. And under number 4, positions, we have letters A and B. And under C, other requests for approval, we have Roman numerals number 1 through 7. And that's it for the consent agenda.
All right, hearing the consent agenda, do we have a motion to bring that to the floor?
Also move.
Mr. Groen makes a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin seconds. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all of those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next up in discussion action items, just for discussion purposes, we just finished our collective bargaining, and we have a TA on that. Basically, Dr. Briggs, do you want to go through the any of the changes that we have come to a tentative agreement on?
Absolutely. So yes, as Mr. Roundtree mentioned, we have a tentative agreement with Silver Creek Teachers Association. Just so everyone knows, this tentative agreement and changes are posted on the school corporation website under quick links. So basically, one change, the compensation plan, our salary scale, each row of the salary scale is being increased by $3,955. That would be all teachers that were here last year rated effective or highly effective, and all teachers new to the school corporation this school year will all receive the same increase of $3,955. Also under the compensation plan, under stipends, a lot of the language has remained the same. There are a couple changes. We've added the term using your certification in your employment for English learner certified and special education certified teachers. And we also added language having to do when teachers pass the praxis examination to add their Indiana's early literacy endorsement. They'll receive a stipend of $500 for that. And then the last set of changes is under Appendix B, the ECA schedule. While there's no change in the compensation amounts, we did add a handful of positions, volleyball 8th grade head coach, 7th grade head coach, 6th grade head coach, and 5th grade head coach. We also added a volleyball 7th, 8th grade assistant coach and a volleyball 5th and 6th grade assistant coach, a unified flag football head coach, unified flag football assistant coach, ECA support. We increased the money there, $30 per event, or I'm sorry, $40 per event for each Silver Creek employee who provides ECA support, and then $60 an event for ECA event supervisor. And that is the summary of changes on the proposed 24-25 collective bargaining agreement.
I know it was great, at least for me, and I think I can speak for the rest of our fellow board members, that it was good to bargain this year and raise the starting salary to $48,000 for our corporation. That is I think if we want to look back on what we've done since we've separated and what we've been able to do with the separation, has been able to put the dollars that our school corporation brings in, invest it into our teachers. I think our starting salary was right around $35,800-ish. And then all of a sudden, we're at $48,000 in 4 years. That's almost a I'm proud of that, and I hope you guys are as well. So, and teachers deserve it. Now we'll start working on our classified staff.
Yes, and the board will have a special board meeting coming up here in about a week to 10 days or so, where I will ask them to approve the collective bargaining agreement.
All right, next up under discussion action items, this is actually a action item. This is the approval to talk about and start the process of looking into purchasing property. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, that is the most important thing. How about we table that just for a second for the action
Okay.
items and go back to yours? Perfect. No, I was saying we'll table
Oh,
what I
table the
just
action
started.
item.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Need to move.
Good evening. So before I begin, I want to give a little history here. Silver Creek School Corporation was formed in July of 2020. And over the last 4+ school years, your school board has researched, gathered information, and taken action. And a little timeline here. So in 2020, when we were formed, we had 2,790 students. And skip to the bottom of this slide, we currently stand at 3,157 students. It's about a 13.5% increase. So while your school board has been researching, gathering information, and taking action, we've been growing. And we've been growing at a pace that you don't see throughout Indiana. There's a few places you do, but it's definitely not the norm. And so I want to just briefly hit on the action of the school board. So in 2021, the school board purchased 8 acres adjacent to Silver Creek Primary. And they bought the 8 acres knowing that someday we're going to need an expanded footprint because they saw the growth coming. The growth is here. The growth is going to continue. In 2022, there was a year and a half span where the board had approved 3 high school bid packages. And you see the fruits of that now. As I just mentioned earlier, we opened it up last week. Some of that is still taking place and will continue for the next year plus. But the high school is off and running and meeting not only the current needs of our enrollment and our academic needs, but the future as well. In 2023, the board continued to expand the corporation's footprint where we purchased 2 office buildings adjacent to Silver Creek Middle School. Also in late 2023, we brought on Gibraltar Design to conduct a feasibility study for us. We knew our growth was going to continue, and we knew we had to come up with a plan on not only how to meet that growth today, but also into the future. In early 2024, the board continued to take action. They purchased 22 acres on the west side of the district. That land is still vacant. It's a cornfield as we sit here now. We also have the first right of refusal on an additional 40 acres adjacent to that land. And then for the last year plus, we developed a 5-year strategic plan and started implementing that this school year. And that brings us to this evening where the school board is to consider facility projects. My presentation tonight is a recommendation to the school board after a year plus of a feasibility study and looking at our past growth and projecting forward our growth in the future for the board to consider, not tonight, but to consider at a future meeting on how best to move forward. So for just a second here, I want to focus on, I mentioned our strategic plan. So we developed a vision statement, we developed a mission statement, and our strategic pillars. Part of our mission statement, as I've underlined there, is transparency and accountability. And your school board has done an excellent job of being transparent and being held accountable for what they're charged to do. They're charged to not only educate our children today, but to also plan for the future and be good stewards of our resources. Our strategic pillars, we have 5 of them. And it seemed kind of odd early on that one of them would be strategic planning, but we knew that strategic planning had to be a priority for the school corporation. And so our strategic pillars are academic excellence, culture, safety, communications, and strategic planning. And tonight, we will continue that planning. So I'm going to cover 5 things this evening. This presentation, for those of you taking notes, will be on our website starting here in a couple days. So you can take notes tonight, but no need to do that. We're going to talk about educational needs and primary objectives, our rationale for project planning, going to share a budget estimate, and then final thoughts and next steps. So what are our priorities? 1, we have to accommodate current enrollment at the pre-K through 8 level, as well as future enrollment for pre-K through 8 in our special education. We have to relieve congestion on this main campus if we can. If you've ever driven here at arrival or dismissal, or even for an event in the evening, you know that we don't have a lot of space to spare. And that goes back to the board prioritizing increasing our footprint, not knowing at the time what they were going to do with that increased footprint, but knowing that they had to add things along the way to be prepared for tonight. And we also want to expand district-wide opportunities with the multi-use field house. We do not have court space for our extracurricular activities. We rent facilities in our community in order to give that practice space, and we think we can have a multi-use field house that will not only serve our ECAs, but also be used during the day for academic purposes as well. The rationale of project planning. So as mentioned, we've increased 13.2% since 2020. That's 3.3% a year. We currently are maximizing every area of our schools. We're creative in our existing spaces. Sometimes we find programming and we don't have the flexibility for it with our growing enrollment. If you were in here a month or so ago, you would have saw our elementary STEM team with their equipment back behind the projector here, because this is where they practice. This is also where we do large group meetings with students. We do staff meetings in this room. We do school board meetings in this room. We do whatever we need to get done with the space that we have. We have to increase our classrooms and increase our capacity. So here's a great visual of our current enrollment. The primary school, which houses pre-K through 1, is currently 20% above capacity. Now, I want to stress, it's not a safety issue. We're able to do it. But again, we don't want a capacity that just gets by. We want to make sure we have the optimal capacity for our students to learn and our teachers to teach. Our elementary school currently houses grades 2 through 5. It's 5% above capacity. Our middle school, grades 6 through 8, is 21% above capacity. Enrollment projections, if we continue at 3+% per year, and I've been here for over 3 years, and I've been saying for 2 years we can't sustain it, but we have. So I'm going to quit saying that. But no, that's one of the best things about a public school system, is we don't turn kids away. We don't want to turn kids away. We take all kids, all families. And that's one of the best things about a public school corporation. So as we sit here today with 3,206 kids this fall, fast forward 5 years, 3,762 kids, fast forward another 5 years, 4,363 kids. So we need space today. If you've driven around any of our schools, we have 4 portable classrooms at the high school. Yes, that's being taken care of. The high school, as you'll see as part of this presentation, is not being mentioned other than what I've already mentioned it so far. If you go to our primary school, we have 2 portable classrooms. So we are full today, and we anticipate Hopefully not 3%, but it might be 3%. It could be less, it could be more. Project to meet needs. So what am I proposing here this evening? One, we need to look at our grade level reconfiguration to increase our student capacity, not only today, but into the future. We need to add an addition to the primary school. We will continue to house, if done, we would continue to house pre-K through grade 1. We just need more space for those grade levels. We would ultimately like to develop a robust pre-K in order to meet those needs of those children of those ages. The proposal calls for building a new elementary school on the 22 acres on the west side of the district. That would be grades 2 and 3 to expand our student capacity and relieve crowding here at the elementary. Now, it may seem odd on the surface, why are you building a 2-grade school? Well, because that's all we need. You want to spend double the money, you could build a bigger school. But based on the information we've collected, building a 2-grade level school will take care of us for years to come. By doing both of those things, expanding the primary and building a 2-grade level school, it requires minimal work here at the elementary and minimal work at the middle school. And I'll get into the next slide on what those grade level configurations look like on paper. We also need to prioritize our district-wide improvements, our preventative maintenance. So as we're needing to expand schools, as we're needing to build a school, we also have to take care of what we already have. There's going to be roofs that need to be updated and replaced. There's going to be HVAC systems. So we need funds for that. And then the multi-use field house on this main campus to support current needs and additional programming. Now, where are we going to put the field house on this main campus? Well, once construction is complete at the high school, and once we, at some point, we don't know what yet, but at some point, if we do something with our transportation center, we will have the available space to do that without replacing one traffic congestion with another. So the solution to meet needs, the primary school remaining pre-K through 1, expanding, goes from 20% over capacity to about 20% under capacity. What that means is we have room for growth. Build the new school, grades 2 and 3. Once it opens, it would be approximately 15% below capacity. Again, what's that mean? We have room for growth. Elementary school becomes grades 4, 5, and 6. That instantly creates capacity here at the elementary school. It goes from 5% over capacity to about 20% under capacity. And then the middle school becomes grades 7 and 8. It goes from 21% over capacity to about 20% under capacity. So this slide here shows us how do we take care of our current needs and how do we prepare for the future. And I go back to, and I want to say it 100 times this evening, your board has been planning and gathering information and taking action. They saw the future of what they might need, and they've prepared for it, and the future is now. So, main campus configuration. We currently support 11 grade levels. We educate approximately 2,700 students, or 85% of our enrollment. We have 350 staff members and vehicles, 43 buses, 53 athletic teams that practice here and play here, and about 300 plus or minus car riders. If you're wondering why our campus is congested, there's your numbers. You build a new elementary school, 2 grade levels, do the conversions as I just mentioned. You maximize your space. You further reduce daily and evening traffic around the buildings by removing 2 grade levels from this main campus, approximately 20 staff members, their vehicles, 450 students, 100 car riders, and plus or minus 6 buses. Primary school addition, classrooms for pre-K. Again, one of our priorities is a robust pre-K. Results in 30 classrooms each grade, kindergarten, first grade, and flex classrooms. Return our classrooms to original purpose of art and music. Right now, our art and music are on carts and don't have their own classroom for kids. Again, that's a priority. And then as we sit here now, the cafeteria, the gymnasium space would be appropriate with that expansion. New school, grades 2 and 3, 12 classrooms per grade level, 2 special education classrooms, 2 additional flex classrooms, related arts programming, and additional gym space. And the key here, the underlined portion of this slide, is it will be designed for additional grade levels or for those grade levels that are there to become bigger in the future. Again, our guiding priorities. 1, how do we take care of our current demands, and how do we make sure that we're planning for the future? Elementary school, grades 4 through 6. Today's numbers, 4th graders, 10 classrooms, 5th and 6th graders, 10 classrooms as well. This leaves 2 flex rooms for each grade. Proposed student enrollment for grades 4 through 6 is 675 students. Again, minimal to no work needed to serve these 3 grade levels. And very similar to the middle school, once we move 6th grade over here, again, minimal to no work needed to serve grades 7 and 8. Multi-use field house would allow for more co-curricular, athletic, and extracurricular student activities and opportunities at all grade levels before, during, and outside of the school day. We have teams and activities taking place well into the night, every night of the week, almost, because we simply do not have the physical space to house everything. This field house would also be used, as our other facilities are now, for community groups to use it. They do a facility request now, be very similar. This portion of the proposed projects still needs to be tweaked and refined, but we want to definitely get it on our plans so that it doesn't fall through the cracks, because our space is limited. What does this field house possibly look like? 2 or 3 basketball courts, 2 or 3 lane walking track, multi-purpose fitness room, a weight room, additional restrooms and locker rooms. It will serve both indoor and outdoor events, and of course, as I said, located here on the main campus. Preventative maintenance, again, site improvements, sidewalks, playgrounds, HVAC, roofing, just anything that we need to repair and keep things up to date, because as much as we need to expand our current facilities or build a new facility, we will continue to prioritize taking care of what we have, and we've done a phenomenal job of doing that, and we will continue to do so. Overview of budget. So the primary school addition, the new elementary, the existing elementary and middle school renovations, priority-driven district-wide improvements, and a multi-use field house. When you add up the preliminary construction cost and soft cost, it comes to $62,860,000. In order to do this, we will need taxpayer support. So I recommend to the board that next May 2025, we put a referendum on the ballot in order to generate a bond issue for $62,860,000. That is a 41.5-cent property tax increase. This table, if you looked at the left side, your gross assessed value, the annual impact and monthly impact, the average house in our school district is $268,500. The proposal is the annual impact of taxes would be $595.52, or $49.63 a month. And of course, that's the average. So in theory, half the houses are less, half the houses are more. And I don't need to read through the entire table for you. Again, this will be on our website. Should the board take action to initiate this, then I will make myself available. I will conduct community meetings and answer as many questions as I can for you. Next steps. So tonight, school board review of final projects. I recommended the board on November 19th, they take the first step to initiate getting the funds to fund this project. I will ask them to adopt a resolution. On December 10th, we'll have a special board meeting for project hearing number 1. December 17th, the regularly scheduled board meeting for project hearing number 2. And on May 6th, 2025, I recommend that we put a referendum on the ballot. If the board chooses to move forward, this will be a special election, and we'll go through the process of getting that done. Thank you for supporting your Silver Creek schools. We appreciate you.
All right, I know we've been talking about this for a long time, but anybody have any questions for Dr. Briggs?
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Dr. Briggs, for the presentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Next up under action items is the approval of interest in purchasing property resolution. Then the partial numbers are listed on the agenda. For those watching or in attendance, as Dr. Briggs basically said, we've been looking at a multitude of options, and one thing that we know that we feel like we need to do in the future is get transportation off of this main campus, frees up some space, which we've got buses parked in multiple areas right now. That was one of the reasons why we bought the 8 acres back in 2021, seeing that as a future project. There has been some property that has come to us that we may be able to move into a new transportation center cheaper than we can build a new one for. So this is not the approval to purchase. This is simply a resolution to look at it. As a board, we would order an appraisal, find out how much that property is worth, and then start the process of looking at our pros and cons and do our due diligence and looking at those couple of different options on the table. So right now, under B, action items, we have the approval to enter the purchase of property resolution, the 2 partial numbers that are listed. We have a motion to bring that to the floor.
I so moved.
Mr. Grove makes a motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Ms. Franklin seconds. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Next up, we have our administrative reports. Ms. Campbell.
Good, Alex. All right. Good evening. Well, it's an exciting week at Silver Creek Primary and just an exciting time of year. Our fall parties are in just 2 days on Thursday of this week. I want to thank our PTO for doing a beautiful job planning our stations, purchasing supplies. We're excited for this day to celebrate with our kids and just have a little fun, celebrate the season. So thank you, PTO, for that. Friday of this week is Parent-Teacher Conference Day. Our teachers have been busy scheduling and hosting conferences since we returned from break. We love this time of year. It gives us an opportunity to connect with our families and discuss how much our students have grown. A huge thank you to our teachers for all the extra work they put in preparing for conferences. And our wonderful PTO is providing lunch for our staff on Friday, so a huge thank you to PTO for that. Next week at the primary is Book Fair Week, October 28th through November 1st. Information went home yesterday on how to create an e-wallet. That is super helpful for our little friends. So if you have a kiddo at the primary, setting up that e-wallet would be super helpful. We also have on Friday, November 1st from 5 to 7, in conjunction with our kindergarten fall family event, we have a book fair night for families to come in and shop with their kiddos. But every kid will get a chance to shop during the week. Last but not least, coming up on November 7th, we have our first Zone Your Home night of the school year. Parents and guardians are invited to attend our training. This year, our training is being presented by Mrs. Niehaus and Mrs. Ashley Davidson. We're going to provide dinner. Everyone that attends gets to take their own calming zone kit home. And we have lots of raffle prizes to give away. So it's going to be a great night of learning. So like I said, super busy time of year, but also a great time of year. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Myers?
Good evening. Thank you for this. It is an exciting time of the year, and just sharing that it is Red Ribbon Week here at Silver Creek Elementary. So we are a Spirit Week. That's why I'm wearing my tie-dye today. So we were saying peace out to drugs. So there's a reason for my attire. But tomorrow we are choosing our dreams and not drugs, and we are wearing pajamas tomorrow. So luckily, I didn't come in my pajamas tonight. So I want to celebrate a few things. So first of all, we celebrated our kiddos last Friday for Pride, who showed respectfulness in the classroom. And so I want to celebrate these kiddos: Holly Purcell, Sawyer Fortner, Elizabeth Reynolds, Scarlett Glotzbach, Aiden Bird, Evelyn Jean Harrington, Parker Tomlin, Levi Sykes Morales, Eleanor Rogers, Ian Melton, Kinley Dean, Oliver Donaldson, Lillian Sharp, Emery Nicholson, Vivian Redden, Mackenzie Wagner, Robert Diaz, Kelsey Beekler, Kennedy Foster, Finnick Martinez, Leela Manzo, Romania Rosa Lopez, Donovan Martin, Jackson Downey, Hudson Wendell, Reese Parker, Sailor Simpson, Harper Doyer, Kinley Mobley, Isaiah Scott, Logan Ferrier, Avery Von Allman, Olivia Haynes, Evelyn Sanchez, Lucy Kaufman, Clara Goldfarb Hutchins, Branson Miller, Daenerys Brewer, Caden Mudd, and Reagan Lawson. Also, I want to give a shout out to one of my fourth graders, Melanie Munez, who turned in, participated with Mr. Julian, her teacher, sent in drawings for our kids for a contest, and for the I Voted contest, she received third place in 4th through 8th grade students from all across the state from our Indiana Secretary of State, Diego Morales. So Melanie said there was actually a News and Tribune article that went out today and said that she was really proud of herself, and she thought it was cool to be at least in the top 3. And, you know, Mr. Julian, he went above and beyond. And so I really want to give a shout out to him, and we appreciate everything that he's done with this. But he stated in there, and I thought this was nice and wanted to share with you guys. With Melanie and her art, she's already smart, but she's got this extra talent. And for her to be able to express it, even in a contest like this, it was pretty cool. So thank you to him as well. Last month, Dr. Swearens and I were able to participate in the school board fall conference in Indianapolis, and it was wonderful. It was a wonderful time. One of the speakers there was Jennifer McCormick that we were able to hear from and listen to. And one of the things that she suggested while there was when given a chance, to raise up at least 3 people in our community when the opportunity presented itself. And so in a time when there's a lot of negativity and things going around, I think it's important for us to always remember those positive impacts that people have had on our community and things that have happened. So in that spirit, I wanted to share a few things about a few of my teams. So first of all, Krista Williams in the office, she always advocates for our kids, and she helps us with our Chromebooks. We wouldn't get through the day without her know-how and keeping things going. She also helps keep the wheels on our bus as she finds the subs, and for sometimes that's almost an impossible task for a building this large. So a shout out to her. Miss Engel and her team is Amber, Noah, and Sarah. Their work this year has been very difficult, but they've always been such a beacon of professionalism when they're willing to step in and jump in, in any situation. And they're amazing at building relationships with their kids and advocating for them, and just seeing their work in day to day with some of our kids that struggle just is really inspiring. Mrs. Anderson and Mrs. Feldman are working their tails off to make sure that teachers have what they need to improve instructions and support teachers with their new curriculum, CKLA. They also help monitor and administer our intervention groups and for some of our struggling readers. we all feel the pressure of iRead in the whole building. And, but they're right there to step up and say, we've got this, we can find a way, and they are truly helping change lives for kids. So to all of our teachers here at the elementary, they've been working so hard these past few weeks preparing for conferences. It is such a task to make sure that they have everything ready to be able to communicate in just a 15-minute conference with the parents how much they love and care and how proud we are of the wonderful things that are happening. So just a shout out to all of our teachers for their accomplishments and putting in the work for that. And then finally, we did have Miss Ramey Rotet, who is doing one of our leaves of absences. She's on temporary contact right now. I wouldn't send my condolences to her and her family. Her mother passed away this past week. So just condolences goes out to her. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Nunn?
Good evening from the middle school. Welcome everybody back from fall break, and we hope everybody had some time to enjoy fall break, and we're excited about a new quarter and our returning to learning at the middle school. Just a note for parents that our Q1 report cards are live. Our honor roll is live on Infinite Campus, so if anybody tries to find the grades and they can't, please make sure they reach out to our front office and we can help you find grades and report cards on Infinite Campus. I want to congratulate our Silver Creek Middle School cheerleaders. This past weekend, the team competed in the state tournament and was awarded the 2024 Large Junior High Performance Spirit State Champions, and I believe it's the third year in a row for this. So our sixth graders won it in sixth and seventh and eighth grade. Not that we're proud or anything about that, but once they get their rings and have a little bit of bling, we'd like to have them come in and show it off for everybody. For the third year in a row. I'd like to wish good luck to our 7th and 8th grade boys and our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade girls basketball teams as their seasons begin in the next week and two. A note for everybody that school is not in session for our students this Friday. However, our teachers will be participating in training and professional development. We do want to see our students later that evening, although they won't be in school. Our costume dance will be Friday night. So from 6:30 to 8, we would love to see all of our students having fun and dancing around the gym. We may not know who they are because we have some pretty good costumes going on that night. We do sell tickets at the middle school. They'll be on sale Wednesday and Thursday, but no tickets will be sold at the door. So if you want to come to that dance, make sure you get your tickets in advance. And if any of you guys want complimentary tickets, I have them for you. We begin our Red Ribbon Week tomorrow with many Spirit Wear days and contests to promote drug-free lives. And again, if you're looking at what our Spirit Week dress days are, please check out our afternoon announcements. Tomorrow is Wear Red to support Red Ribbon Week. We also begin our Red Ribbon Week tomorrow with a school convocation with Ben and Crystal Woods of the Lookout for the Left Out, which is my t-shirt here, or the Love Like Callow organization. And they'll spend the entire day at Silver Creek Middle School presenting to larger groups and then also within the classroom with the message of spreading kindness to others and teaching how our choices to be kind can change the world and impact others in ways beyond what we can imagine. So we're looking forward to starting off our Red Ribbon Week with this foundation and again, wearing red. And again, if anybody needs some time or wanted to stop by to see it, well, they'll be there all day tomorrow. Any questions for middle school?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Willman?
Good evening. We have, of course, a lot of playoffs happening right now. We're into sectional play. Cheerleaders were just in the state championship last week and were able to take third place in 2 different divisions. The football team had a dramatic win versus Corden last week. Of course, dealt with the tragedy, and I think we were able to contribute to a fantastic high school event. I mean, you couldn't find probably a better high school game that took place. So I think that was our contribution to them of trying to heal as a community. So that was it was a good night, great atmosphere for high school football. We have the boys and the girls cross country teams. They are going to the regional with a chance to qualify for the state finals this coming weekend to go to Angel Mounds. The boys were second in the sectional and the girls were third. Of course, the volleyball won sectional here this past weekend. They will play in the regional on Saturday. They'll play Evansville Memorial at 4 o'clock at Mitchell. Tennis, they were sectional champions and regional champs. That was the first one that we've had since 2002. And Camden Smith, he is qualified for the state finals, and he will play this Friday at 2 p.m. at North Central. So we want to wish the best of luck to him. Also, the theater, they've had some honors here. They've had semifinalists of the Indiana Repertory Theater's Young Playwrights in Process, which is a 10-minute play competition. Ella Blues, Caleb Gelbach, Kelly Price Walbring, and Willow Johnson moved on to the semifinals. Today, we administered the PSAT to roughly 500 students. We had an asynchronous day. Thank you for allowing that to happen. I want to thank the students, the staff of the board for this asynchronous day. It went off pretty well. It's very difficult to coordinate all of that in the various rooms. Brittany Edrington headed all of that, and she did a fantastic job. So everything seemed to work well, and people completed the test. So that was why I was a little bit chaotic today with students leaving at irregular times. And of course, the big news is we were able to move into our new facility this week, and we still have a lot of cardboard boxes laying around, and we probably will for quite a while, but students are excited. They bring kind of a new energy into the building, a lot of smiles. So I'd like to thank Calhoun, central office, the board, and really the entire community. Dr. Briggs stated in one of the many TV interviews that we've done that the facility will now match the education that they are receiving. And so I think we're really going to see that the surroundings really do affect people. I like to say that architecture can either inspire or demean people. These high ceilings, a lot of light, I think that inspires learning in every single way. So I look forward to witnessing and being part of this journey. And so the staff and I are beyond grateful for all of those. I mean, I'm just coming in on the coattails of all of this stuff, with this being my second year, with the planning, the vision, and in some cases, sacrifice. So I want to thank everybody involved in this. And so we will have a big celebration on November 1st, starting at 4 o'clock. And so we'd like to invite the community to that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Waters?
All right, I just have a couple of updates from our Health Services Department. Our site student immunization clinic hosted by the Clark County Health Department was a huge success. We had 33 students attend, 66 shots were administered, and 80 requirements were fulfilled. So we do thank them for bringing that to us. Last week, the health department also provided on-site flu and COVID shot opportunities to our staff. Many thanks to our school nurse liaisons for putting that together. The Indiana Department of Health has received reports of increases in pediatric pneumonia cases. While our corporation is not seeing an influx of these cases, they have been observed across various regions in the U.S. Our Director of Health Services, Casey Drain, sent out a news bulletin regarding respiratory virus prevention and will continue to monitor that. So that's just an FYI for our families. And following with our AED replacement plans, new units have been ordered for the elementary and the middle schools. And also, students and staff are really loving their new clinic at the high school. So thank you for that. Do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Briggs?
Yeah, congratulations to Melanie on her recognition from the state. Mrs. Myers, we'd love to have Melanie and her parents come out and be recognized by the board. Welcome back to everyone. Hope you had a great fall break. Congratulations and good luck to our fall student athletes as they wrap up their seasons and continue their seasons. And then just to thank the board. Board, as I mentioned, very thankful for you and all that you do. And you guys are great caretakers of our school corporation, and I appreciate you moving us forward. That's it.
Ms. McDaniel?
I do want to say thank you to our principals for bringing these reports. I have kids in 3 of our 4 schools, and I really love hearing about what's going on. Special thank you for the shout out and directions on the e-wallet. Appreciate that. I love the book fair. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year, but I really do appreciate your supports of all that you do for students. And Dr. Briggs, thank you so much for your presentation. I really appreciate your hard work.
Mr. Basham?
Just want to wish all of our athletic teams and even all of our EC activities that our students really strive in everything we do. And that's, of course, that comes from teachers, coaches, building heads that give them the opportunities like to think them all.
Ms. Franklin?
I'm good for tonight.
All right. Mr. Grom?
Kind of just pigtail everybody else. Just good luck to all of our ECAs. Congratulations to everybody of what they've done so far. I actually did tell my boys I'd give them a shout out. So it was the Silver Creek Middle School boys soccer team. We actually played in the Clark Floyd tournament. This year was the first time we ever had 6 teams instead of 4. It's also the first time we've actually got second place. And it's also the first time that 2 schools from Clark County made it to the final. So, and also congratulations to Jeff on their victory.
Welcome back, students and staff. Welcome new staff members. And Melanie, congratulations, great accomplishment for a 4th grader in Ms. Myers' building. Proud recipients and congratulations to our certified staff on a successful collective bargaining. Can't wait. We will have a special board meeting at the beginning of next month to get that approved. And to all of our principals that are here, it's Principal Appreciation Month. Thank you for everything that you do. Next meeting, as I said, we're going to hammer that date down hopefully tonight on our special meeting. It's either going to be the 5th or 4th, 5th, or 6th. Our other upcoming meetings on November 19th and December 17th here in this building, in this room, are our regular scheduled board meetings. With that, do we have a motion for adjournment?
I so move.
Mr. Grover makes the motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Might as well keep with the flow tonight.
That might be the first time I've ever made a motion for adjournment.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Meeting